And so, do not argue with the court, do not argue with counsel, answer the questions, do not volunteer information that is not requested.
All right, what just happened there? That was a witness in the Derek Chauvin trial being reprimanded by the judge. So I'm going to talk about why that happened, in addition to some of the other things this witness did very poorly as she testified. So stick around, we're going to spend a little bit of time analyzing her testimony. So just for context, this is Miss Genevieve Hansen. She's an off-duty EMT, and she just happened to be in the area, and she happened upon the scene when Mr. Floyd was being arrested. And she's a witness for the prosecution. And here she's being cross-examined by the defense attorney, Mr. Nelson. And she really does not do very well at all. I'm going to go over just two things that I think that she did poorly that really harmed her credibility. And there's a lot more in her testimony, the way that she delivered her testimony, that I could go over, but I want to make this video pretty short, and that would take a long time to make that video. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about.
It's not uncommon to see lights there?
In my neighborhood. Not on that corner, but in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Or in the city.
Right. Okay. And as far as the other two officers, you were not watching who had their weight, where, or when?
Correct. I could not see the other two officers. I could see them, and they were not talking much. Okay. I could see their faces.
A lot of people were yelling.
Right.
And again, you were not paying attention to what they were saying.
Just here and there.
So do you remember what the officers were talking about?
Oh, the officers? No, I have no idea. They weren't talking.
Okay. All right. Would you dispute me if I told you that you told the agents it was a heavy crowd?
No, I guess not.
So the next thing she did wrong was she was very combative and argumentative. And when she gave her answers to the questions Mr. Nelson was asking, she would oftentimes go beyond the answers, or she would try to debate the question, or she would kind of argue with Mr. Nelson.
A stressful situation can impact your memory, right?
Absolutely. That's why we're lucky it was videotaped.
Right. And some people were swearing.
Absolutely.
And would you describe other people's demeanors as upset or angry?
I don't know if you've seen anybody be killed, but it's upsetting.
Okay.
To answer it.
Yes, I was just going to object, Your Honor.
As argumentative, and you can proceed.
I'm going to just ask you to answer my questions as I ask them to you, okay? When you first approached, you saw the complete and total body weight of all three officers on Mr. Floyd.
I never said all three officers. Their body weight was on him. The two in the back, their full body weight was seeming to be on him, but that's not something that would kill.
All right. But you testified that their
yes.
body weight.
Yes, their body weight. Yes.
Was on him.
Just answer his questions if you would.
So just to be clear, for the record is clear, you testified.
Yes.
Let me finish my question.
Finish your question.
You testified that when you first arrived, you observed the weight of all three officers on Mr. Floyd. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you recall describing the crowd as a heavy crowd?
No, I don't recall.
Would it refresh your recollection to review the transcript of your statement?
I don't want to.
Okay. Did you describe Mr. Floyd as a small, slim man?
Overruled.
Yeah, it appeared to, with three grown men on top of somebody, it appeared that he was small and frail.
Okay.
But I know that's
I'm
not
gonna-
to be
there's
true,
no question.
obviously. I was finishing my answer.
Members of the jury, we're going to take the name. Please go back into the courtroom. Counsel remain. Witness remain. We are outside the hearing of the jury. Ms. Hanson, I'm advising you, do not argue with counsel, and specifically, do not argue with the court.
Is the cameras off? Are the cameras off?
No, they are not. We are on the record.
Okay.
You will not argue with the court. You will not argue with counsel.
Mm-hmm.
They have the right to ask questions. Your job is to answer them.
I was finishing my answer.
I will determine when your answer is done.
Okay, well,
And so, do not argue with the court. Do not argue with counsel. Answer the questions. Do not volunteer information that is not requested. The attorneys for the state have redirect. They can ask you questions if they think that certain things were left out.
okay.
It is counsel's prerogative to ask you leading questions and for you to answer those and not volunteer additional information.
Okay.
Are we clear on this?
We're clear.
Thank you. Come back tomorrow at 9:30.
All right.
Part of the reason why she did so poorly was she just had her role confused in her mind. She felt like she was there to be an advocate. And she's a fact witness. She came upon the scene and she saw what she saw, and she's there to testify about what she saw. She's not there to push a certain position. And in the end, it got her into a lot of trouble because throughout her testimony, she kept arguing with defense counsel and she wasn't answering his questions. And the judge had repeatedly had to tell her, you're not here to argue. You're just here to answer questions. And then finally, he had just gotten tired of it. He sent the jury out and then he reprimanded her. Now, she's lucky that didn't happen in front of the actual jury. Oftentimes that does. And when that happens, when the judge reprimands a witness, that witness's credibility is harmed greatly. So in the end, it wasn't necessarily the words that she said that harmed her testimony. It was the way she behaved on the witness stand and the way that she delivered her testimony. It was unprofessional. So I just thought I'd make a quick video on the impact that body language, tone of voice, demeanor can have on the effectiveness of a witness's testimony. It can really harm it, and in this case, I really think it did. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out some more content similar to this. Thank you for watching.